I was born in a small village in a city called Garmsar. It's about 60 miles south of Tehran. I lost my father when I was only 1.5 years old. So I never get the chance. I don't remember my father. I have heard a lot of stories about him, but I don't really have no recollection of him as a person. So when I finished my high school, I had planned to come to United States, but my mom was by herself, so I had to stay for more years in Iran in order to find an accommodation for her. And then I went to the university, the National University of Iran, they call it back then. Now they call it Beheshti University. Finished my bachelor in economics in 1973, 1974. First, I went to France for a month to visit my brother, who was politically active, and for more than 10, 12 years, he couldn't go back. He was one of the most active members of the Confederation of Iranian Students. So I visited him in France. Then I came to Southern California. I never went to the college that I had admission from because I wanted to go to University of California, and I wanted to go to UC Riverside, especially because of the Department of Economics. When I came here, I was already politically active in Iran as part of the student movement in National University and against the Shah's regime. And I began basically initiating a branch of economic student organization in Southern California, which was mostly affiliated with the political organization that I had most interested in their views in Iran because of the limitation of the freedom, suppression of freedom of speech and whatever they had done, which was against my idea of society. And for 16, 17 years, I couldn't go back because of my political affiliation. I couldn't go back to Iran. So my ideas and my activities was shaped by lack of justice, fairness, political participation, and being able to shape the decision in any way, and even the slightest ways. When I came to United States, already the movement of the intellectuals, university students, and broader movement have already started. But this time it was totally different. The winds of the change was blowing, and it was totally felt by us. So it gave us a lot of motivation to be much more active and continue the struggle for change. The opposition to Khomeini and his policies for a lot of us started even before the revolution. First of all, because of the hostage crisis, the funds coming from Iran was totally cut off, and the Reaganomics was in the United States. So they had gone after the academia. They wanted to purge, especially economic departments, of the progressives. So they came after my department also. When I didn't have any status as a student, so I became illegal. So the department was closed. I was illegal, and so my wife Fresh, we married on 1981, and this is happening about 1982, 1983. It took me a few years. I guess it was 1994, after going to the U.S. Congress and reaching out to people who were backing us up. Finally, the department was reopened. I finished my dissertation and got my PhD. I'm teaching economics at West Valley College. And also I started two Middle Eastern studies or courses, one at Cabrillo College, initiated, and also one at West Valley College. I knew that the region is important, and offering different views of the region to the American student. Although I am very optimistic, and I think in the future generations and the world has to change, the way global economy or global politics is actually being dominated at this moment, it is not sustainable. And I think it's going to change, but it's going to be a very painful process for us and people at large. So that is my disillusion. Maybe I don't see those days, but I do have a strong belief that the way the world has been managed is not going to be sustainable and is going to change. Many others, as I have been speaking to them, have the same kind of the struggle between staying positive But at the same time, seeing the world is a very difficult place for many of us, economically, politically, despite freedom of speeches and a place to participate in political decision making. But a lot of us have come to the conclusion that we are not really making that much of the differences as individuals. But at the same time, I see no other way. We can only maintain the situation as it is. The democracy is a very fragile situation. So if that's the case, we always have to be positive and stay the course and contribute to changing the situation. We cannot let go the decision making into the hands of just few, and resign to the position of disappointment. That's not an option for me. Every classroom that I go is by itself a United Nation. Different faces, different the accent, different shapes, and it's a very interesting place to be at. Nothing to be grieving about, but at the same time, it's hard to swallow sometimes because that was not a deliberate decision that one made. So it is always a struggle within. Where is my place? Perhaps never the answer is going to be clear, because I am as much American as I am as much Iranian, and also as much universal.